I've done a lot of jobs in my life, a lot, and real estate by far is the most rewarding on so many levels of just, I know what it's like when I bought my first home and I finally felt like I was a big girl, like, oh my gosh, I've done it. And to give people that and how I've seen it create wealth. I think right now another thing is buyers really do have some opportunities. Sellers are paying closing costs. They are adjusting their prices. Sellers, if they're selling right now, even making a downward move, your mortgage payment's going to be the same.
Welcome to The Closing Table, the podcast where Utah's top real estate professionals share their stories, strategies, and the behind-the-scenes hustle that leads to big wins in the market. I'm your host, Landon Franchow, President and CEO of Miracle Movers and Storage. Today, I'm sitting down with Jennifer Terry with Better Homes and Gardens Real Estate. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thanks for having me. This is exciting.
You've been top of mind since I started this podcast because you've been such a huge fan of ours over the years, and you always share our stuff, and you're always excited about what we're doing. We're excited about what you're doing. We're excited for the Dream Board event that you got going on. We did that last year with you, and I after this I'll show you. It's hanging next to my desk, and actually
they make a difference.
Quite a few things have actually materialized from that. So really excited to do that again. Tell us, Jennifer, how'd your journey in real estate begin?
Oh, well, I think it started. I was an accountant. I was had a CPA practice
for one company, or it was like a private practice?
CPA practice that we had several, probably 500 individual and probably 250 business.
Okay.
Practices, and I did that for about 12 years and had real estate clients. I had doctors, attorneys, and just realized that who was making the money out there. It was mostly not necessarily direct, just buying and selling, but just from commercial to buying, storage units, and just seeing how just how real estate can make people money.
Yeah. I mean, it'll get you some behind the scenes view of something that nobody ever sees. I'm sure doing the books and CPA work for companies is very interesting.
Yeah. Well, and I love the numbers, and the numbers just didn't lie. Yeah. Also, my sister has been in, she was going to law school and decided to change and went into real estate a long time ago. So she was doing it for about 10 years, 12 years. And then I 100% stopped doing accounting and jumped into real estate. And
And what year was that?
That was 2015.
Okay.
2015 in May was my first year, start into real estate.
When you get both feet in and you're like, all right, this is what I'm doing. Yeah. Was there a learning curve for a while
It was super hard. It was really hard. Cold calling, I wasn't good. I'm an expressive person. I like to talk, I'm not really direct. I get my feelings hurt, and I would have to cold call, like for sell by owners with my sister in the background, and I'd be bawling, and I came from being at work at 7 a.m. until it was done. I came from just the corporate world, and so I did real estate like that. I did real estate more on a relationship basis, so I thought of bigger, so I went to the Intermountain Health and wanted to be one of their preferred realtors. I went up to the University of Utah HR department, wanted to get with their relocation. So I did a lot. I started a women's networking group, several of them. And so I did it a lot different. And then I did cold call. I'd have all these little burners, and I thought, if I can make more money over here, then I don't have to pick up the phone. But it taught me, how to work for sell by owners, and if you can't cold call, that's the grind right there.
Yeah,
that's the grind. So I did that, and I built it really basically 100% on relationship based. That's how I do it. My main thing now, for about 12 years, is my sphere of influence.
Yeah.
There, it's absolutely, and then just my relationships with just I work with a lot of divorce attorneys, a lot of accountants. That the people I network with are people that I feel like, yeah.
So what would you say is your sweet spot, like buyers or sellers, or what would you say that your sweet spot is, or is it just a little bit of all?
So if I just look at the numbers, I think I did 6 or 7 divorces last year. So divorces, I'm really good at just because I, can be the middle person, and
Yeah.
then estate sales. So this is a lot working with the seller side, but however, on the buying side with my divorces, the majority of them, I help both of them
Yeah.
find, not always, but the majority of them, because when I go into a divorce situation, it's like I'm not on one side or the other.
Oh,
And that's
yeah.
what you need,
Oh, for sure.
get through it.
I would say 20% of our moves are divorce moves.
Divorce, yeah.
I
Well,
would
and
say.
that's kind of with our market. That's kind of what all people are always going to have to move. It's just the way that there's life changes, job changes. But I would have to say my favorite. I love first time home buyers.
Yeah.
In the sense that I love to show people how to create wealth through real estate.
Yeah.
And so from when I started, and I had worked with a lot of first-time buyers because my sister did all the listings for the first 3 or 4 years when I was on her team. And to watch them be able to sell those houses and have that equity is exactly why. Well, and the first time I just recently sold the first house I ever bought.
Oh, yeah?
And I love to figure out how you can, I was a single mom. I've always been single. My son's never been his dad. So I knew I had to provide, and I bought this house, and I took the kitchen upstairs, got a concrete saw, put the kitchen downstairs. And since that house, I've had a tenant pay my mortgage pretty much my whole house. Ever.
Yeah.
I have a 2-bedroom basement apartment and an Airbnb in my house.
That's
right
amazing.
Now. And so it's not for everybody, but it is in times like that. I just being creative.
Sure.
I want my son to buy a house really bad right now. And I would, I'm an accountant, so I run the numbers. You know what I mean?
Telling him whether it's feasible or
yeah,
not.
but just, you might not be able to afford the whole mortgage, but you can rent the basement,
Let's get
or
creative.
you can figure it out, or
Yeah.
the short-term rentals is kind of a scary situation, but just
It's a gamble.
yeah, I would never tell somebody to be a short-term rental, but I look for walkout. There's just walkout basements, just where you can cut a door, just so I might see things a little bit different. They might not like the idea of living with somebody, but until they realize that it can be.
Well, that's what a lot of first-time home buyers have to do these days to be able to afford home ownership, because it's so expensive. It's high interest rates, high prices. It's tough. It's tough. I understand. I'm very blessed to have a couple houses. But I don't think that's definitely not the norm. And our first house in Magna, we're renting it, and it's the only time in history that the interest rate can be low enough that I can actually rent the house and cash flow on it, because that's like, unless we're renting out every individual room in a house, like it's just like you can't do that these days. And so I don't know if we'll ever let go of that house, because it prints money. So.
I know. Well, and I think if you look at it, everybody looks at investment. I've worked with lots of investors, both in the accounting, in the accounting perspective, and in the real estate, and everybody there's so many different ways to analyze a property. Are you looking for a cash flow property? Cash flow is obviously hard right now. Are you looking for something that'll just break even, so you can maybe take the tax loss, the depreciation, and maybe just write it out in the long term.
Yeah.
So whenever I have, anybody wanting to purchase, there's always going to be a time that you might want to sell. We want to look like, how long is this house taken to sell? And there's so many opportunities out there. And I think right now is when we get to be creative with them.
Yeah, I mean, break even would be incredible. It's self-servicing debt. That's what I love about it so much, and that's why I love real estate and real estate investing, is because it's an asset that builds equity, and the cash flow from it services the debt, and it's just like, I'm just over here building wealth, just hanging out.
Yeah.
And we got good tenants too. So like, there's not, thank goodness we don't have like fiascos all the time. And so
tenants are good. I've been a landlord since I bought my first house because I had basement tenants.
Yeah.
I have one trick to being a landlord and having tenants. And I'll tell the world it. So just so you know, if you ever come to look at one of my houses, I walk everybody to their car.
Yeah.
And if you have a dirty car, you're going to have a dirty house. And you're very like, if you have a clean car, check.
My property manager told me that, actually. She says I always try to take a peek inside of what their car looks like, and that'll tell me a lot about how they're going to treat your house. Mm-hmm. She actually said that. That's funny.
So it works for me.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I've not done it and regretted it. But
so Jen, what's happening in the Utah market right now? Like, what that buyers and sellers should pay attention to that you see?
So what I see right now, I just crossed the board, is fear. So when we all come from a fearful place, it's, that's what I see, a lot of people with fear, which I think our industry and what we're doing, we need to educate, like on, the different options. What I see in the Salt Lake market is I just see it stabilizing. It is a total, on the selling side, it's a harder conversation because they have been watching the market thinking their house is a lot, higher.
Way more expensive
than
a
lot of people, everybody does that, but especially this transition the last year or so, I noticed just these last listings where we've had, like, the prices, if I price them right, like where but if they think that there's, more there, that's so strategic pricing. If you want to sell, strategic pricing, homes go if they're priced right.
Right.
The buyers, that's the bottom line. If a home is priced right, it will go.
Yeah.
My other thing I think is, in Salt Lake, our homes are still appreciating at least like 2% a year, which maybe we were at 11% sometime, 13, so that's crazy. But it's different than around the United States, where 0.5% or 1%, So if you ask, I heard this other day, if you ask somebody if they bought a house 5 years ago, if they were to sell, do they regret buying that house? Mm-hmm. I would almost guarantee. And then if you ask these people 5 years ago, they're absolutely not going to regret.
Yeah.
So if you probably keep going back, would you might regret putting too much money in it. That's a whole nother thing. But in 5 years, are you going to regret buying this property? I highly
no.
And that's kind of how I look at it. I think right now another thing is buyers really do have some opportunities. Sellers are paying closing costs. They are adjusting their prices. Sellers, if they're selling right now, pretty much have to sell, because you're not even making a downward move. Your mortgage payment's going to be the same.
Yeah.
So downsizing is not really, and if you do a level move, your house, it's hard to give up. My 2.7 interest rate.
Yeah. Fingers crossed, these transferable mortgage rates. Have you heard about what they're kind of talking about.
Being able to transfer them.
Yeah, I guess that's a thing in Canada and in other countries. So they've been talking about being able to take your old mortgage rate and apply it to a new home to create some more activity and fluidity in the market. So like, because that's why everybody's house locked right now, and they're just like, well, I mean, I personally have a 2.75% interest rate on my first house. And I'm like, so I understand why people are staying put, but they don't want to. People want to, they want to buy, they want to move, they want to, but they're, like you said, it's fear.
I think it is fear. And I think it's, feeling like they're trapped. And I think that's where having some way to income produce on your property, whether it's put a shed, every city has regulations and everything, but most of the time what I have found out, is if you're living there on the premises, don't quote me, you cut that, I'm not sure, no, I do not know. But for me in Sandy City, I do have a Sandy City short-term rental license, and it is going to get more regulated. And in order for me to have a short-term business license, I have to be living at the house. It can't be in an LLC or any kind of, the property can't be. My name has to be on the tax return and my address with my social. So it can't go. So what that tells me is it's letting maybe the homeowner benefit if they're there, but it's preventing like investors coming in, and we have, so there's good and bad.
Honey, who are we going to get to help us move?
I'll see if Brad can give us a hand. Hey Brad, what you doing, buddy? Well, we're moving today, and I was wondering if you could help us out.
I'd rather wax the hair off my head. No. I'd rather go 10 rounds with Mike Tyson. Oh my gosh. I'd rather let my dog...
Friends don't want to help you move. Call Miracle Movers, and we'll take the pain and stress of moving off your hands.
Yeah, I think that the Airbnb and vacation rental market has just screwed. It's put so much strain on the housing market so I think there should be some regulation.
Yeah, and I liked how I live in Sandy City, and I liked how they did that. They made it be reported under my social, and they made it be my name on the tax return and it not come up in a K1 or something else. So yeah, I liked it.
Yeah,
it's for some people.
Yeah, well, what it's done is it's taken all the inventory. There's less inventory, which is making prices skyrocket because there's so many vacation rentals everywhere. And I can't say we're in some huge travel vacation hub. I'm sure it's way worse in places like Miami and where there's tons of tourism.
San Diego, Mission Beach,
So I'm sure it's even worse in those markets. But we got skiing, we got, it's not like people don't come here, but
Yeah, well, my Airbnb, I turned my son's bedroom when he went to college. It's 170 square foot. Yeah. I cut a wall in the outside of my house, and nice. I have it's 170 square foot room and a bathroom with a little fridge. Yeah. I live at the mouth of Little Cottonwood, and I make.
Does it stay pretty occupied?
It's not right now. All my December have canceled because it's ski.
Yeah.
But I average on 170 realistically probably. to 2,500 maybe.
Nice.
A month. Average, if you average that through the year on 170 square feet.
That's like what we charge for a month for our 3-bedroom, 2-bath,
Yeah. Well, and that's, saying you do a lot in the winter and then but right now, December, I haven't had very much, but it's short term is not guaranteed. But I think it's more they're just being creative.
Yeah. Well, we've valued your relationship over the years so much. What just for the listeners, what do you value most in vendor partnerships? Lenders, inspectors, movers. What's most valuable to you in a relationship?
So I would say 100%, like my goal is to create a raving fan. So I want my clients, if I'm telling them to work with somebody, especially the moving process, which is the very last, like you get to something goes wrong there, and it was my recommendation. So the vendors I work with, and I choose them, and I'm about as 100% loyal to them, is because I trust that they're going to treat my customers how I want them to be treated, and how, like, I do business. You guys are like top notch. And I'm not just saying that because you invited, but I do promote you because I've heard stuff about you behind the scenes of your generosity and what you do volunteer and what you do behind the scenes that probably you guys don't even talk about. But then when I just hear, it kind of gives me goosebumps of just other people who've worked with you, like maybe in the UDOT industry, and just in these big life-changing, where they're tearing down these people's houses, and that transition into trust that I could send you there. My client calls me after crying and saying she feels so taken care of. And so, like, that's what I'm looking for, raving fans. And that's why vendor partners are.
Obviously, I mean, you want to go with people that, make you look good and make you feel good. Everybody wants to feel good about their referrals and recommendations, right? I mean, even myself. And same with, with this whole project going on, it's the only time ever that we actually could, say, are you working with an agent yet? Usually we never have that opportunity, but I guess we downstairs, like right before you go into the warehouse, there's like this big thing on the wall that just says "Create a raving fan today." Like that's like our slogan.
Oh, really?
It is. So when you said raving fans, like it really resonated with me. That's exactly what we strive to do, and we obviously want to make you and any other realtor that sends us referrals. We want to make everybody look good. We do.
Well, and the way that we work together, what I found with my vendors is it's a lot, it's a life. But when you have somebody, you'll have different people in your life, and they're going to be different agents that you're going to be able to see as a good fit. And, it comes back in so many other ways. I ran it 100% on refer, and it works.
Absolutely.
If you work it.
Yeah, in the beginning, our business was all paid advertising, right? Every customer was a new customer, but over the years, the repeat and referral has just compounded every single year. Finally, it makes up half of our business is repeat and referral, people that have used us before, or they've had friends and family or colleagues that have used us before, and that just seems to grow and grow and grow over time. And so, thankfully, we got a good spread of like paid customers, and some people we've moved for 3 or 4 times already, and we're like, welcome back.
Well, yeah, exactly. And it's like a burner, you have, I used to buy leads back in the day, and then I have my for sale by owners, and then I have my business network and my sphere of influence and my events, and there's just lots of ways to get creative. There's and thankfully, you got 5 years post COVID of buildup of your network. There's a lot of agents that started in your industry in COVID, haven't been able to build up that referral network, and now the market shifted and they don't have that, so it's extremely tough. So like you have a 5-year jump on a lot of the agents that started. Yeah, I think it's a tough one. It's a tough one. I think I've done a lot of jobs in my life, a lot, and real estate by far is the most rewarding on so many levels of just, I know what it's like when I bought my first home and I finally felt like I was a big girl. Like, oh my gosh, I've done it. And to give people that and how I've seen it create wealth.
It's one of the most pivotal moments of any person's life is buying a house.
I 100%
Whether it's your
believe
first, second, third, it doesn't matter. It is. it's one of the biggest moments that people go through, and it's a positive one for the most part, I would say.
Yeah.
Why people have to buy a new house, that's a whole other story. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. But
But I do believe it's fate. I've never sold anybody a house that they haven't meant to have.
Sure.
Like I've never felt like we made a mistake. Like, oh, we shouldn't have bought this one.
Yeah.
Because definitely.
Well, what we're going to move to is what's called the rapid fire round, where I ask a few questions and you answer to the best of your ability. So my first question of the rapid fire round is, what's your favorite local lunch spot after a long showing day?
Mongolian barbecue in Draper, home.
Is that what it's called?
It's like home. I don't know what it is, but it's Mongolian barbecue.
All right. Is it like
They cook it on a big wok.
They cook it. All right.
Yeah, it's like stir fry.
I was thinking about Korean barbecue, where you cook it
Oh,
or whatever.
yeah.
I didn't know if it was something
No,
similar
you
to that.
make it and they put it on a big burner.
Okay. What's your dream vacation when you finally get to unplug?
I am a huge beach. Anywhere there's a beach.
I'm a beach bum as well.
Yeah, anywhere there's a beach.
Who do you think has the best beaches?
Oh, so I've taken my son pretty much out of the country every year since he was born, and so we go to beaches. So I'd say some of my favorite, like Turks and Caicos, had a beautiful beach. Absolutely Costa Rica. It depends if you're going for waves or beaches. I'm a scuba diver, so I love Mexico. Love to go to Mexico. Any of them, all of them that are warm. I don't like cold water.
No.
Cali is. I lived in Cali. San Diego, I can handle, but that's about as cold.
I usually stay on the beach, and I don't usually go in the water in California. So what are your open house must-haves? Snack, music, candles? What are your must-haves?
Oh. So everybody has a different theory on why you do open houses. The reason why that usually you do open houses is for an agent to get buyers. Mm-hmm. I don't believe open houses sell homes. Because people have real estate agents and they can come into the home. I don't ever double side deals, so I'm not doing an open house. I also believe open houses can also bring in. I can't vet everybody that's in there, so we always have to have a talk about the lockdown, about a medicine cat or whatever,
Right.
just valuables. But for my agents or for my new agents or people who are doing, it is all about the signage, the promotion, the door knocking.
Yep.
The door knocking is where I get my listings.
Tell all the neighbors. So
that is where door knocking 50, 100 people, doing a mail or getting the neighbors, because my goal is not necessarily to pick up a buyer for that house, because that's going to come. My goal is to get the neighbors to list with me. If I'm, so open houses are kind of, I do them on all my houses. One reason why I like to do treats and everything, I don't like those if they spill when I'm cleaning up mess. I have toys, I have swag. I'm a swag girl, tape measures, all that.
Something useful that's not going to get thrown away. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I think just signage, just promoting it. Getting out there and promoting it. Also letting everybody else know that you're active. You're doing open houses.
Absolutely. What would you say is the most used app on your phone?
Oh, Chat GPT.
That's the number one consensus for most people that have been here. So
I've been watching YouTubes on how to use chat. Oh, I have spent years on fine-tuning spreadsheets to analyze every single kind of apartment, like fourplex. I can just say I want this, that, and it just tells me every single thing that I've created years. It's very scary, just because my value, I have a couple master's, bachelor's degrees. Yeah. My value is like being able to build the spreadsheets and being able to do that. Now I get just shoved in there, like in business plans and accounting, I hope that they're not just getting us used to it to cut us off.
I think what it's done is it's leveled the playing field for anybody that's using it, so they can automatically adopt all the knowledge and stuff that a lot of people, worked really hard to build. And now it's like, now anybody can get on ChatGPT and create spreadsheets, like SWOT different items, or help you, like anybody building a business or being successful with the help of AI it's never been easier than any other time in history. It's just, I find out new applications every day and I'm like,
oh
my
well, I
gosh.
asked it, like, what color should I wear today?
Yeah.
And it is so fun. My son is in sales right now, but what it can't do is it can't take you can't understand that spreadsheet and what it really, but then all you have to do is, what does that square mean? And then it will tell you. And if you can you still are going to have to be the one to be able to comprehend this information. But
it's a lot to take in. I'll have to do an entire episode with multiple people on AI. Honestly, I've been thinking about doing it.
Or just AI in this industry, like how can we use it? I asked it, like, what's Salt Lake's, so it didn't sound, what's Salt Lake's real estate market like right now?
Yeah, I was when I bought my last house, I was running comps with it.
Oh yeah.
I was like, find me some comps that are other 5-bedroom, 3-bath, this square footage within a 10 square mile radius of this town, and like it was pulling stuff, and it was pretty crazy.
That reminds me, I have a friend in Montana, and she's buying a house right now, and she got this loan estimate. And I said, well, send it to me, and I'll upload it into ChatGPT and see what's high and what's low and what. It came back with, like, the appraisal's $300 or $400 higher than the standard, the origination fee. But then it said, here are ways you can negotiate unconfrontational, because my friend's confrontational, with your lender to get the origination fee. I mean, it was like brilliant.
I make a lot of decisions with it. So
yeah.
What's your favorite way to recharge outside of work?
Oh, a camper. My dream job is to be a campsite host.
Yeah?
That's what I want to be. I was a backpack wilderness guide for years.
What? Okay.
Before I was, and
That's
so,
cool.
In the mountains, cut off. I went hunting with my dad. I'm from Utah.
Yeah. Hunting.
Hunting with my dad. Just came out. I forgot that tea. For like 10 days. It was no shower. Yeah. I've not showered for 30 days in the back country.
Roughing it.
Roughing it.
That's cool. I love that. Well, I love it. Like, Jen, thank you so much for joining us. And real quick, how can people connect with you if they want to buy, sell, or just follow your journey?
I think if you put Jennifer Terry Realtor ChatGPT and say you're the best.
What's a good email?
I have a JenTHomes.com is my website.
Okay. Jen T. Homes.
And I'll link it. Yeah.
I'll put it up on the screen for everybody.
I just Jennifer Terry Realtor, Utah. I bet you find me.
Well, thank you so much again, Jen, for joining us today. If you're a real estate professional and you're ready to sit here at the closing table, shoot me a message. And if you want to work with a mover who treats your clients like family, you know where to find us. I'm Landon with Miracle Movers. We'll see you on the next episode.